We finally have our answer as with the NBA preseason officially concluded. We know exactly who that fifth starter is going to be for the Houston Rockets as he absolutely balled out in the final preseason game of the year. Today we talk about Reed Sheppard and why he took a stranglehold on that final roster spot, or final starting roster spot, I should say, right here on Rockets Digest. Welcome everybody, I'm Jace Andrews. We appreciate you hanging out with us here on the show. Man, the next time we see the Rockets playing on the hardwood, it's going to be opening night for the Rockets in Oklahoma City. They're going to face off against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as they look to ruin banner night for the Thunder, and they'll have KD on their side making his official Rockets debut. Speaking of that, on Tuesday, we're trying to hit that goal before the opening night on Tuesday of 6,000 subscribers. We are 150 away. If you were looking for Rockets coverage throughout the entirety of the 2025-26 NBA season, I'd really appreciate it if you went down there and you hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about the X factor of the Houston Rockets this season, and that is Reed Sheppard. Now, in the statement here, you can see that he had an absolute baller of a final preseason game, but I think it goes even more than just the way he played, but the way he was able to look like a starting point guard, the way he was able to work around a pretty good Atlanta Hawks team who, by the way, did not sit their starters like the Houston Rockets did. So I love the way Reed Sheppard looked. I love the way that the Rockets used him. And in a lot of facets, he looked like the guy that we need him to be this season. Is that good enough to make him the final starter is the question. Is that the way that we look at this? And in my mind, it is. Because the Rockets were in an interesting situation. We know head coach Ime Udoka loves to play multiple forwards, and he could have easily put Amen Thompson at the one, played him at that point guard slot, and then past that have Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe at that power forward slot, maybe put Dorian Finney-Smith at the shooting guard. You could also have Tari Eason in a couple different slots, and then Alperen Şengün as your center. You could also go double big, move Alperen Şengün to the power forward, and have Steven Adams play center. There was a lot of ways the Rockets could say, get out of playing Reed Sheppard. But I don't think you can anymore. He proved his worth. And while, yes, I understand it was the final preseason game of the year, and we don't know what that means for the regular season, I think it's worth it to go out there and let him play. And whether or not he plays a majority of the minutes in the first game, that's up to Ime Udoka, but he deserves it. He proved himself throughout the preseason. Every game he got better, and that offensive onslaught was a big thing. And to me, there's something to be said about an eye test. And if I look at the way that Reed Sheppard was looking out there on the hardwood, like I said, he fully looked like he could compete at a starting level in the NBA, and he outdueled Trae Young. Like, let's be honest with the way we look at this. Like, he was a key contributor throughout the entire game, was dishing out great assists, and was doing everything you expect for, I almost want to say, a Fred VanVleet type of player. Like, that's legitimately what the Rockets are looking for, and he looked like that. So we've kind of held it all long enough. What was his stat line? Let's get into that. First of all, he had 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals. That was the big number on the top. He led all scorers with 29 points. It looked like the University of Kentucky, Reed Sheppard. I got to be honest, that's kind of the way I saw him in so many different lights. But if we look at the stat sheet for the entire Houston Rockets, you can tell that obviously they did not play their starters, quote unquote. But Jeff Green was out there, had 16 points, 20 points for Isaiah Crawford, had 28 points for Josh Okogie, 16 points for Aaron Holiday, and then 29 points for Reed Sheppard, who also came back with 6 assists, tying Aaron Holiday and J.D. Davison for most assists on the team in that night. The big number to me, though, 4 steals, 3 blocks. He is not that tall. The fact that he had 3 blocks and 4 steals is great. Now, the best thing about this to me is that we're so worried about a point guard and so much, and that's the hinging part of the Rockets season. But J.D. Davison has a point to be a part of our point guard rotation. He had 14 points, 6 assists, 4 steals. Reed Sheppard, as I mentioned, 29 points. He had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. And then even Aaron Holiday, who has a chance to come in here, he had 16 points, had 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal. They all look like very viable options for your point guard position. So while you may not have a clear number 1 point guard, you definitely have 3 to choose from. Reed Sheppard, though, to me is the obvious choice for a lot of interesting characteristics, but I think we have to go to the article and kind of talk about why he makes the most sense. Brad Bodkin of CBS Sports saying, quote, "Notice the variety of Sheppard's scoring, off the dribble, off the catch, in the mid-range, where he gets great lift and separation on his pull-ups, a comfortable floater, A crafty offhand finish at the rim, great vision as a passer out of pick and roll, slinging a bullet pass to the opposing or opposite corner for a three, drawing attention as a driver to set up a dump-off dunk. These are all great adjectives, to put it that way, but they're all ways that Reed Sheppard commanded the offense, whether it be scoring, assisting, stealing, whatever you want to call it. Every single one of those plays that he quote-unquote used adjectives to describe it, he did. He did those things. You can go look at the Houston Rockets Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. You see Reed Sheppard dumping it off to Okogie for an easy put-down dunk. You have him dumping it off on the right side, throwing it across the corner. You have him pulling up, doing mid-range, working around the dribble. I mean, he was fantastic in so many lights of the game. And again, I want to have the best team out there. And I think the more I look at it, Reed Sheppard might actually be a part of it. For the longest time, I was very questionable about him. And I still somewhat am. But I think in this light, you don't really need him to be this full-time guy, and he just showed he can do whatever you need him to be. That's where we go with the report here. Brad Bodkin, once again, of CBS Sports, mentioning exactly kind of what I just said. That Sheppard, he might not need to be a full-time starter for Houston right now, but make no mistake, with VanVleet out and barring an in-season trade for an established point guard, Sheppard probably has to make a real impact this season if Houston is going to contend, end quote. Even before the Fred VanVleet injury, we knew that Reed Sheppard was going to be such a hinging piece of this team, such a hinging piece. And now we continue to kind of see it, and we know that Ime Udoka, he asked, the fifth starter? Oh, that's going to be decided in training camp. And then we got past training camp, and I was like, the fifth starter? We're going to figure that out in preseason. The fifth starter? Guess what? It's Tuesday as opening night where we figure out who that fifth starter is. And in a lot of realities, it's going to be a mix of people. They're going to be different starting lineups. But I think if you were to count out of 82 games how many times Reed Sheppard is in that starting lineup, I would have to say it's going to be a majority. Or at least I would say above 50, which for how many starting lineups I expect the Rockets to run out there night in and night out, it's going to be a lot. Now, that double big lineup is going to be something that we know the Rockets love. They're going to use. They're going to continue to use. But I still look at this and see a very clean opportunity for Ime Udoka to use Reed Sheppard and kind of make it the way that he wants to be. So does that mean he is the fifth starter come Tuesday night? That's the big question. In a lot of ways, could be Amin Thompson. Amin could easily go out there, play the one. Kevin Durant could play the two, or Dorian Finney-Smith. And then you have Kevin, KD, and Jabari at the 3 and 4, and then Alperen at the 5. You can also play Amin at the 1, DFS at that 2 slot. Steven Adams and Alperen Şengün go double big with KD at the 3. Most lineups you're going to see Kevin Durant at 3. I mean, that's just kind of an obvious point there, but just to make it. Amin Thompson, though, could easily play the point guard in game 1. Long term, though, I think Reed Sheppard is the answer, and the way he played, the way that he looked, the way that he commanded the basketball, commanded the offense, I truly do believe he deserves the shot. I really, really do. And I think it's crazy because a lot of aspects, you look at these teams and you look at the Rockets and think, man, I don't know, but I'm just excited. I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm amped. I've watched too many preseason games from 4. 4 is enough for me. I'm ready for the real deal. And speaking of the real deal, we're going to have an opening night stream here on Rockets Digest. We got it covered 6:30 Central Time. Rockets Thunder will be live right here on Rockets Digest, so make sure you join us. We're going to have a great time, have a lot of fun covering this game, so we appreciate you. And we'll see you then. We'll see you for a couple more videos before the opening night as well. But for now, we'll see you next time here. Love you. Have a great Friday. Peace out, guys.